Randy's at work, and I'm going to sing some songs. So, kind of tired tonight. I'm gonna get serious about this YouTube thing. We'll see what comes of it. We gotta talk to the banks tomorrow. I have this credit card I got. It says I owe $1,000.42. I haven't had it in service for over a year. They've been doing this back and forth for me. I've already ran it through a bunch of times. So I don't think the police department over here wants to help me anymore. They're kind of being jerks. The IC3 is telling me that I need a secure line. Well, I have a secure line. So I'm just putting stuff in there that, shouldn't be, so they're screwing around with my accounts and everything else. So I looked up an old friend of mine, found out it wasn't the same guy. Heard some comments, and I wrote some paperwork. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, I don't know. I might join some one of these organizations. Amazon wants me for something. I don't know what. I could sell and everything else. I took the program a while back. I'm a little rusty, but it shouldn't be too hard to figure out. I don't know. Maybe they don't want me in the higher office because I have degrees and stuff like that. Got a ton of money floating around the system. I'm gonna pull out. I think we're just gonna sit here and sing and try to get a music career going. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anyway, bridge over troubled water. Me singing. Cut one. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. Oh, when times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. Yeah, that's what else. When you're down and out, when you're on the street, when evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'll take your hand. Oh, darkness comes, and pain is all around, like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. You just silver girl, sail on by. Your time has come to shine. All your dreams are on their way. See how they shine. Oh, if you need a friend, I'm sailing right behind like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind. Well, I started this a few months ago. I started a teen career when I was 13. Um, I grew up in San Diego. My mom was a little rough. Uh, I was in the Russian fallout shelter. I was sick. I had a hole in my heart, so they fixed me. But I was talking to my friends, you know, I was there all the way till about 13. That's when Bruce Lee died. That's when my friend died. He was a little bit cleaner than he should have been. So they both died the same year. And I told Dad, well, I had enough, you know. So I went home, and what did I talk about? You know, it was every time I started telling something that happened down there, Mom told him to tell me, to tell her about it, and then I was lying. So here I am telling these stories that I lived through, and it's like, wait a second, you know. So last time I was 22 or 23, I ride my motorcycle into the base, and 5 years on the circle project. One of my friends was in the military, so we got drunk one night, and we were talking. You know, they're saying, wait a second, you know about all this? I'm like, yeah, he's actually telling the truth. Well, I was born a unisex. Everything worked, and my mom was kind of rough. I looked more like my mom than my dad, and so they tried to make me a guy, and it didn't work. But I married Diana, the princess. Got pictures of all that stuff on the net floating around and everything else, and the kids came by a little while ago. But it was just one of those things that was kind of rough. I mean, it was, you guys gotta see this. This cat is just tearing up this ball, playing with it, tossing it in the air. Yeah, she's little. That's the insanity that I have to live with. So I ended up marrying my husband, ended up pregnant at 61, going through this. I haven't felt any difference since I was 15, but I've been talking about my dreams and stuff like that. They're all pretty much the same since I've been growing up. Another thing I talked to my mom about. Mom loved me, but she was really hard on me. She was rough. And Leslie sang in concert. I didn't know what to say, so I said she stank. And Mom beat the crap out of me right there in the pew. You know, I was like, wow, okay, whatever. Then Dad, at the age of 15, told me if something happened to him, then to just leave and tell everybody that I forgot my name, who I was. Okay, here I am, the number one martial artist in San Diego. God, that was rough. Sometimes I don't want to talk about it. Sometimes I do. I'll finish part I was talking about, then do the rest. I already posted this on another one, but it is kind of funny that I ended up in that situation. And I realized all we're supposed to do is love each other. But when you're growing up and everything, and you're young, And well, Dad told me something happened to him just leave. I'm thinking, okay, Dad, who in San Diego doesn't know me at this point? When I was a kid, it seemed like everybody wanted to. Gangs were trying to get me involved and stuff like that. It was just one of those things. I wasn't into that. I wasn't into drugs. I was a downright outcast. I started playing tennis, everything else, and the only time I smoked pot and drank, I got in trouble. I got 5 years on a Saratoga project. I did 14. Well, I finally got paid for it. It paid me $500,000 a year, so that's floating around on one of my accounts somewhere. The family was with it's just practically addicted. It just keeps them in the air, which means that it's going to be fun to sleep with these guys tonight because keep them bouncing off the wall. I'm tired. It's been an interesting life, but make a long story short, the only thing we're really supposed to do is love each other. Nobody's doing it right now. The weather is just crazy. It's doing things that it hasn't done before in history. And people are thinking, well, this and that. No, we need to get them back what we're supposed to be doing and not what we're doing now. Because the government's on the move. They're stealing everything. They're offering all these programs that people don't work, so they can't support themselves. So they have to live off the government. And then what happens when the government takes control? They kill off the middle. I've seen that many, many times out there in places. I've already told most of my stories and stuff. And I think, uh-oh, I was getting ready to cancel it. There's going to be a cat fight over that stupid toy. Here she goes. Uh-oh, she got caught. There goes the other one. Sorry, the entertainment. But it's been an interesting life, you know. I haven't done anything wrong. I haven't done anything I wouldn't have done over again. And it's just, I don't know. I see this stuff going on. We have race wars going on. We have religious wars going on. We have wars in the government, Congress fighting all the time, and everything else. This is a pretty bad time in history where things could get real, real ugly. Now, what I've known one thing about the planet, if it latches onto you and wants to keep you, it will protect you. I worked on the deep space program after being raised a Christian. I didn't think anything was out there, so I ride my motorcycle into the base on a summer day. I rode it from the east and no, from the west. Yeah, so it rises in the east. I rode it from the east, so the sun was at my back. I got on this block bench. There's no gate on there and everything else. I'll tell you this story now. And anyway, I ride in. I feel this bench. It's 90 degrees outside. It's cold. I felt the spirit that was on me. Right? Sensitive, psychic, and all kinds of other stuff. But anyway, I'm laying down on this bench and I fall asleep. I see these shadows coming. Well, I didn't know Dad was captain of the military. He was captain of the Navy. He told me he was in for 3 weeks. Somebody has been lying to me about his work. Mom's been lying to me about being down at the military base. My friends think I'm all whacked out because my parents are telling me, oh yeah, she lies, he lies, whatever. Fuck I am anyway. While my mom's trying to set me up with my friends. Anybody she likes. If she likes a girl, she tries to set me up with a girl. If she likes a boy, she tries to set me up. Isn't that funny? So I'm going through this all my life. So anyway, make a long story short is I rode my bike to the base. End up 2 weeks later in this meeting. It took that long to come to something to do with it. So when I get home, Dad says I'm not going to arrest you, and I rode out the front gate. Now the limo went left, I went right. Alcohol was to the right from Poway. So I get home and Dad tells me he's not going to arrest me. 2 weeks later, I go down with him in the limo to the base. I get around this table with all brass. I was going to arrest one of my friends because they got into my dress and everything else. And even before I got a hold of it, because I fired everybody that was on it. And I got around another one of the tables, and there's all these guys looking at me. They're all decorated officers, and I'm like, blah, 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 blah. But they knew my story. I told them before I walked in there. That's the first thing I said. I said, yeah, we know about that. We researched it. So anyway, make a long story short, I got 5 years. Uh, I started going in by myself because I've actually lost the team. Went in after him, he was all gone. I rescued a few people, brought them back. Gabriel, and I told them that story already, and Tiff, and some of the others that I was able to rescue. Most of the time, people, if they on a crash on a plane like that, that use that light speed, when they crash, they crash. And a lot of times, what the pilot will try to do to avoid that, with the instrumentation on the stuff, it will tell you what's going on, how the turbos are working, and everything else. To hit light speed, you have to have certain kind of turbos, and you need a generator, a nuclear generator, on the plane that runs the motors and stuff. It's kind of weird because when you hit something, you hit it, and most of them don't survive. I had to investigate all those crashes. First time I went out, I was so scared it took me 2 or 3 days before I go out. The guy was telling me, "Well, see this on the front line. You probably won't survive the front line. You can survive this." This wife was somebody I knew in the face that we still talk and everything else. My friends all know my stories. They've all heard them all. I'm sure they're probably watching my posts and stuff like that. I post everything on Facebook. I got tired of people telling me you can't tell the truth. You can't tell the truth. So I decided that if I make somebody laugh, which I could sue, just to film just about anything. It's up to them if they believe it or not. So I've been telling these stories for a good 20 years now. And it happened probably about 2005, 2004 when it got said that. I'm like, you lost all tell everybody the truth. I want everybody to know. What did the government do? Well, me being the highest officer in the government, they rode with it. They didn't ride with it because they were scared of me. They rode with it because the way I said it, told everything, it was like, okay, that's a better way of putting it. The aliens are walking down New York City and they're going to kill everybody. People are jumping out of buildings and everything else. They're not here to kill us. They're here to protect us. If it wasn't for them, this planet would have been gone a long time ago. Mankind, this is like a playground. It's like you can do whatever you want. If you do bad, you're going to do bad. If you do good, you're going to do good. But if you do bad, you're going to have to face the consequences of karma and everything else and all this other stuff that's going on. And I learned one thing that, it doesn't really pay to do anything too wrong because you will pay for it one way or another. People that don't see it don't realize it. You know, religion isn't what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to help the people and everything else. And, you know, I don't know. I don't get it. Me being raised the way I was and everything and ended up the way I am is surprising. But I've seen a lot of stuff. I've got a lot of stories and I like to see it. So that's what I'm going to do. But anyway, this is like the second or third time about this out. I'm not going to let it out. They went in, they went out, and then they went up. So they're all inside now. So I'm just going to go to bed and sleep for as long as I can. I'll wait until about 7 or 8 in the morning. I'm supposed to call the bank. The lady wants to talk to me. No, I'm going to go ahead and get my accounts opened up. But like I said, it's a god awful amount of money. It's just kind of scary to see what that could do. The whole family's been postured, and they're all gone and everything. And I've proven all that. I was thinking about joining Amazon because they've been after me for a position. I've got my YouTube channel going on and everything else. If I go to work, I lose all this time that I could do whatever I want, and I've come so far in my accounts and everything. And actually opened up and bought a car now. They tried to the bank charged a phony charge on it, $605. 9 cents what the bill was, and they turned around and said I didn't pay it, and they called it interest. I paid it. It doubled. I paid it again. It doubled again. So then I had a bill that I couldn't pay. Well, I tried to pay that, but it wouldn't do it again. So I've been filing my complaints on IC3. Now somebody got in there where you draw lines on stuff. They did that through that program. I've been able to get back to that program. I forgot what it was. I'll figure it out. I'll get back in there and turn it on. And IC3 is saying it's not a secure line. So it's like it's my last one. I wanted the one with the last people I did this with was Wells Fargo, $2,900. Well, this is Capital One. It says it's $1,042. I haven't had this council for maybe a year. Now there's a Colorado that ran a $4,000 check from my account, and they bounced out for up to 24,000. Now the whole thing came out to $130,000, the credit card fraud. And I don't know where it came from, but I know when I started my Amazon, I went in to ask this guy for help because I wanted to get a patent product, and I should have not got a patent product. I should have got an open product, and I would have been doing fine. I would still probably be doing it, but I decided to do something else. Now, what I do is I get all these online stuff that people want to do for the affiliated programs and everything. I started doing this one for the affiliated to run the ClickBank, but I got into ClickBank and I don't really like it. It's not what I want to do. I'm going to listen to the rest of the program to see if it gets any better. It's a lot of tedious stuff. Or yeah, you can make pretty good money, but then again, you can make that kind of money from the stock market, where you turn around and run one product out for a year and then split the difference when you make money on it. Put it half on your product, half on your bait. You can make that kind of money easy. You can make more. I had 121 shares of Walmart that I bought with my trust. I drained one of my accounts, and what they did was they turned around and put me in a marginal error. I mean, $3,551 in one day. They took it from me. So I've been fighting with Ameritrade over this. I finally told them, I said, look, this is what I'm going to do. I have proof on where that money came from. I don't have any statement yet, but when I get my statement, I'm going to say, look, here's my statement. Okay? Now you have a problem. So I told him, I said, you could do it this way. You can run me the $3,400 on there. I'll take that. But then again, said, you know what? No, I want my 50 shares, which is about $5,000 or more. I don't know how much it is. But it's $128 a share. So I'm thinking, yeah, I'm around 5,000. I'm thinking it's like 15. So that would give me $8,000. That'll settle. They're still, taking the 71 shares. So I told them, if you don't, I'll take you to court. Now I can't use IC3, so somebody got in there and changed that. But I could call them. So I'm going to call somebody and talk to them about how to go about doing that, how to figure out how to do that. I don't know what this cat out of. Cats have an attention span about 15 minutes. Then it changes. They remember things for about 12 hours. It's just, her name's Venus. So I marry a guy, and that's a deep space program. I marry a guy who names his cats Mars and Venus. Isn't that funny? And then they're pregnant. Yeah, funny story. Well, I'll go back to the hospital in the next couple of days or maybe a week and see what we could do about delivery plans for the kid. It's not the first kid I've had. I've had a couple. But it's one of these things, and it's one of those. Me and women generally don't get along. Mm-hmm. She's gonna go to bed. Come on, get over here. Get here. Oh, what's happening? Got behind the neck and pick him up. We're gonna put him in a lap better. But anyway, it's a fun life. It's been interesting. I've had my problems. I've had my uh, situations and stuff. I probably should never been into it, but then again, this life is weird. It throws you in positions of things to where, if you do the right thing, it gives you whatever you want. If you do the wrong thing, it punishes you. I've seen people go through hell. Here's an example. I think I told this on one of my other posts. Guys I used to work for. I used to work for Swift. Class act, good company to work for. Trainers could really make a lot. I worked at the other company, Prime. I kind of got screwed on that. But anyway, make a long story short, this guy was miserable. And it was more kitty. She's over. They're fighting. She was in the bathroom. She turned around and popped her in the face. I'm sorry, but it's sad but kind of funny. So her safe haven is over there. She'll hop up on the bed and hang out. She doesn't like the guy cat either, so she's kind of. Oh, she's not gonna. I wonder why she looks out. I'll probably end up letting her out, but I won't see her again until morning. It's 11 degrees. It's they go out about 10, 15 below. About the worst they've been out in. Last year they were out at 20, but they went out more. Then we've already had a 17 below day over there a couple days ago. 15 beginning of December. Seems like every month we get one of those. But anyway, it's been fun. You can see it. And anyway, it's been fun. It's been kind of rough, but the reason why I was so good at what I did is I would sit there and think. I'd wait. If I'd see a situation, I'd go in. I'd wait a couple of days, a couple of months before I do anything, and see what I'm really up against, and see to know the people and everything else. Where I can come in with some sort of situation where we can get some law and order and order. But this mess on Earth, this is something we got so much going on. It's all hitting us at once. If you have money, they want it. I mean, that hit the lotto for 92 million in 2013. I taught him how to build a lotto machine, just to feed the numbers every week. Started in 2000, about 98 and started. In 2000, I asked him, he said, "How you doing?" I said, "Hey, I've already been in the military for 20 years." And he said, "I'm doing all that." And then in '07, I asked him again. He said, "How much money you want?" I said, "I don't want any money." Dad always offered to buy me a house and everything. I was a volunteer employee, and I was taking risks that I think 90% of the time I came home, I wanted to come home for a guy. We had kids, and we were happy, and got this picture of these candles. There was 50 of them. She said, "That's how long we had together." '94, I told her family, I told Elizabeth that I couldn't protect her. I told Dad I couldn't protect her. So they pulled me, which happens all the time out there in the military. I lost my family. The kids were come around in the bowling alley. I had a memory race for 8 years because I was over there. I was laying upside down at grandma's house in McMahonbury, grandma. Pablo Schudeweiss is a Kentucky Fried Chicken guy. Carlos Santana is my cousin. Yeah, it's weird life. So anyway, I was laying upside down on the stairs. Jim picks me up, puts me in bed, and calls Dad. So I'm flying home. And Dad said, "Well, why'd you come back?" Well, Jim and I were pretty good friends. I kicked the shit out of him years ago in the Saudi studio. We hung out for a while. That's why I was over there. And I wanted to stay, but we didn't work out that way. I miss my mom. I look just like her. I've got a picture I'll show you in a little while, one of these posts, Facebook or something. And yeah, I said, "Well, why'd you come back?" They said, "Well, look at it this way. At least when people are hitting on you, it's not my cousins." My cousin was a big. That was kind of funny. His friend wanted to date me. That's been kind of the scenario of my life. Anyway, to make a long story short, I've got a lot of good stories and a lot of fun stuff and everything else. I'm really entertaining and very smart. But what I wanted to do was try to kind of get things out there that people should know and everything. let everybody know what's going to happen. You guys can sit and watch. I'm usually 90% right. Right now, our weather's just going crazy. Now, here's the deal about this planet. This thing's alive. Everything's alive. We collect rocks, and I thought rocks were dead. I go out there and I bring these rocks, I put them in the sunshine, and I just watch them shine. And it's almost like they're drawing the energy to me. So I put them in the house and everything else, and I've got plants in here, all kind of other stuff. It's a small trailer, but I really don't like it. Now, I was talking at the beginning of the year about a Trump presidency run. I decided not to, and I'm still getting messages and calls like, hey, we need you. No, I don't need that. And Randy said if I do that, he will divorce me. So, but anyway, to make a long story short, um, yeah, since I have before, but they need to get through it. It's just one of those things. There's been a lot of people into it. I figure I'll probably just let it go where it's at and just take what's left and tell everybody keep it. Probably sign it over to them. I don't know what we can do. Depends on how I feel. Depends on how bad they think about it. It's been rough. I had a guy who worked at a legal company for me, and well, he kind of gave up. And I tried to join him again, and he went. He was the president of it. I was at the point where I told him what I was doing, how I was doing, what was going on. He goes, "You've done all this by yourself." I said, "Yeah." Well, I got everybody off and everything. And like I say, I didn't tell him I was a federal marshal. I'm a galactic federal marshal, so they're pretty high ranking. I don't know how many of us there are, but apparently there's another 19-year-old that was bragging about being over there on NASA. And in fact, we've been on this, flying around this planet probably for a billion years. The planet is 14 billion years old. The religion tells you that it's only about 2,000 years old. And I was one of those that was diehard Christian that learned that, love is the only thing that really matters. I see people do some really bad things. I see people put death, and I see people do other things. The spirit never dies. The question is, what is it going to do next? Or what are you going to decide to do, or what happens in your life? That part I have to figure out. Oh, here's the funny part. Randy smokes, so I'm allergic to cigarettes. So I'm allergic to my husband and deathly, madly in love with. I'm allergic to the cats. So it was like and the kid pushing on your diaphragm and everything else doesn't help. I think I'm 8 months old. I went over there before. They said I was pregnant. And called them up. They said it was inconclusive because they took 2 blood tests. They were right. Lost the job. Which happens with somebody built like me. Kind of weird. But anyway, I'm entertaining. I'm funny. I'm 33, 33. Big guy.